300 scrimmage yards for Barkley, 255 on the ground, which is a new franchise record. Put that man in the MVP race. He is, as of last night, fourth on the odds at ESPN Bet for MVP, behind the three quarterbacks, and then it is Saquon. And listen, we have turned this, Rex, you had a great line earlier. We've sort of turned this into the Davey O'Brien Award. It basically goes to the best quarterback or the quarterback on the best team. D Wood, if we take the V in MVP, literally valuable, should Saquon Barkley be at the top of the list right now?
Yes, Saquon Barkley is having that type of year. He's literally on pace to break the all-time scrimmage yards record this year. That's how phenomenal Saquon Barkley is. And I look at Saquon Barkley, he's literally the engine to this Philadelphia Eagles. You want to talk about this Philadelphia Eagles on a 7-game win streak? You know why? Right there. That guy Saquon Barkley, the best free agent signing this past offseason. He is the catalyst. He's the guy that got things going, and from that, you see the defense has gotten better. Jalen Hurts has gotten better. All these other players has gotten better. Why? Because Saquon Barkley has been the one leading the way.
And you know what? The locker room's gotten better. You got to tell that. I mean, what you see with Saquon Barkley in that locker room.
He's put the whole team on his back.
Right.
Before in Philly, what was it? It was the core four in terms of leadership, right? In terms of, it was Kelsey, it was Cox, Lane Johnson is still there, but Brandon Graham's there. They're both aging. They need more leadership. Saquon's there. I mean, he's out there celebrating with his teammates. Gainwell scores. He's the first one out there. Post-game, he is quoting his head coach, all right?
Here's the touchdown by Gainwell. I wanted you to make this point because as Gainwell scores, look who's the first one there.
He doesn't care about any type of accolades. He talked about it. I don't need the MVP. I need to win. He wants a championship. Look at him go down there. This is the example the Philadelphia Eagles need to see, especially when you have a volatile head coach. He said this, you can't be great without the greatness of others. That's Sirianni. That's Sirianni's quote, that your best player is quoting the head coach, sending a message to everyone that I'm listening. All right, he's our coach. Let's rally behind him.
I'm also reminded of some sound that we heard earlier this year. Remember when the Eagles went and blew up the Giants, his former team? He had a chance to break his personal rushing mark.
Yep,
Remember that? And Sirianni gave him the chance. And Saquon Barkley said, no, let the young guys play. Like, he has been all about the team this year, and the team is 100% feeding off of him.
Yeah, absolutely. And most valuable player? Nobody's had the impact this young man's had. I mean, phenomenal in that locker room, building the culture, supporting his head coach. Hey, that's a new one, all right? And all these type of things. And over this 7 games, they are on a historic path, all right? You're going to have to go back. Their average 30 points in the seven games to 15, 403 yards on offense to 223, 9 explosives against 4 given up per game. That you got to go back 75 years to have this kind of run that Philly's on right now. So are they closing the gap with Detroit? You're darn right they are.
Can I say this about MVP? He's competing with quarterbacks, though.
Right.
He's competing with quarterbacks, and running backs need this. He needs to actually continue this. He's got moments. He's got the backwards hurdle. He's got 300 scrimmage yards last night. He's got to have a few more of those for the voters to end up getting on his side.
So here's what he's not going to win it. He's not going to win the award. I'm not asking if he's going to win it. I'm asking if he should. Because we just know he's not going to wind up winning it. They're going to find a way to give it to a quarterback because they always do. But the reality of it is Barkley has had this impact on this team. Remember, a year ago, this team was flying sky high, and all of a sudden it crashed and burned. It's not going to happen this year, in part because they have something this dependable. And another part, Elton John has a song called Sorry Seems to Be the Hardest Word. I think there are a lot of apologies out there necessary for Nick Sirianni, who I'm old enough to remember when people wanted to run him out of town. And I can't help but notice, Rex, and this, I'm not suggesting this is the reason, but he reached out to you. You and he have been talking a lot over the last whatever it has been.
Right.
He has turned things around in that organization.
Absolutely. And remember, in this game, I said, hey, Nick, go out and prove that you're a great football coach, too, because he's going up against McSuperstar. All right?
Sean McVay.
Everybody loves, this McVay and all that. He outcoached him. He outcoached him in that game. All right? Look at his team. And ever since he had to blow up with the fans, it was more about an individual, not the entire fan base, all right? But I'm just telling you, you can't argue with this man's success, all right? And to me, they're not winning despite their head coach, is what was some people reported. This guy's a hell of a football coach, and he has probably the most talented team in the National Football League. Shouldn't say probably. They are the most talented. So it's a great combination. His formula is so incredible to me.
What's the formula?
The formula is run the ball more than you throw it, and it helps your team by leaps and bounds. And what it is, it's like today's game, you just can't ground and pound. It's ground and pound is leading the league in explosive plays, right?
Ground and gone.
Ground and gone is what it should be called. You're right. They run the football for explosives. That opens up the passing game for explosives. They got a great formula. And by the way, this young defense under Vic Fangio, been phenomenal.
That's the key. I'm trying to find the right way to put this into words. The NFL of today is about explosive plays. We talk about how it's a passing league. It's not just that it's a passing league. It's about explosive plays. It's just much harder to have explosive plays in the running game. They're getting that routinely. Right. That's why Barkley is so valuable. When you can hand the ball to someone, a play that has basically no risk connected to it at all, and turn those into explosive plays, that's something almost no other team in the league can do.
Yeah, but it's about the line of scrimmage. We talk about the two best teams here in the NFC. You're talking Lions and Eagles, and they're the two best offensive lines in football, probably.
Okay.
That's what's the NFL to me.